Hello, everyone. This is the Joys of Living Great. Has everyone survived the storm that has hit Florida, Central Florida, South Florida, most of Florida today? We've had quite a weather situation here in Florida. This is, from what I understand, only the fourth time in the history of weather forecasting that there has been hurricanes in Florida in November. We're generally through the hurricane season at this time of year. However, we're not finished with our hurricane season, it appears. So starting late last night and early this morning, we had some other warnings that came through, but nothing like the hurricane that left us a few weeks ago. So I'm praying that everybody is safe, everyone is good, and as that hurricane moves on further up the coast or across the state, that everyone will be healthy and everyone will be able to have safe and dryness, please. We're honoring today our veterans. Veterans Day is tomorrow, Friday, November 11th. And it's the kind of celebration that some people will remember and others will not remember. But for us here at the Joys of Living Great, what it means is that we definitely want to honor and celebrate the women of the Joys of Living Great who have served in the armed forces of the United States. And as we gathered the guests to appear today, it seems like we would have more guests than we have time. So we're definitely very honored to have all of our guests with us. Today, I have the privilege to introduce to you one of our co-hosts, who is Regina Smith, and she will be facilitating our honor of the joy of service today.
Hello, everyone out there. Thank you once again for coming to the Joys of Living Great broadcast. We're so very proud today to be celebrating November as National Gratitude Month. Oh, it's a time to reflect, a time to celebrate, and a time to give thanks. And with that, once you consider that which we have things to be grateful for, we also have to acknowledge that saying thank you is such a very important way for people to feel satisfaction with themselves and their current state, rather than dissatisfaction with what you don't have. Try to find the joy in everything.
Man.
Listen, William Ward said it this way. He said, gratitude can transform common days into Thanksgiving, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessings.
Amen.
With that being said, I see two of our guests have logged on. One is having a little difficulty, but we're just going to go on with who we have, and hopefully she'll be able to get in. We have with us some very special guests. These ladies have served in the military for various years, and we'd like for them to just introduce themselves at this time. First, I'm going to ask Apostle Sheila Ingram, if you would introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, how many years you served in the military, what branch you served in, and what are you doing now?
Hi, everybody, and thank you for just having me and thinking of me. I'm Pastor Sheila Ingram. I've been pastoring for 12 years now in Miami, Florida. I served for 21 years Army. That's including the Gulf War.
Wow, that's amazing. So that means you had made a career out of
Yeah.
our military service. Excellent. We also have Ann Green with us. Ann may look familiar to you because she's a return guest. And for those who have not viewed that particular show, Ann, would you reintroduce yourself to our audience, please?
Thank you, Regina. I'm Ann Green, and I served in the Army for 4 years, from 1982 until 86. And I left the military because I was a mom and it was just too much for me. So I joined Department of Defense as a civilian. And now I'm retired from DOD and just living my best life.
Oh, wonderful. That's what it's all about, joy and living your best life. Oh, we're also so very blessed to have Lady Sandra DeVoe on board with us. Sandra, would you introduce yourself to our audience today and just let us know what branch of the military you served in, for how long, and what are you doing now? You'll have to unmute yourself. Okay, Sandra, are you there? I see her there, but we're having trouble with her audio. Okay. Well, let's just go forward. And while hopefully Sandra can chime in and let us know who she is and what she's doing now. Okay, she went back to mute again. Technical difficulty. Well, while Sandra's trying to get in, I'd like to also acknowledge my co-host. You heard from Faye today, but with us we have Katrina, we have Brenda, but with us
It sounds like Sandra's trying to get in now.
yeah.
You're having much difficulties with your audio, Sandra.
My audio, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Hi, Sandra. Thanks for joining us here at the Joys of Living Great.
I'm Sandra from Indigo. Hear me?
We're still having a little trouble with your audio.
My audio, I hear it is.
Yeah, we're still having a little trouble.
Again.
Okay, Sandra, as best as you can.
Come back in.
Thank you so much for trying, Sandra. We're probably just gonna let you try to adjust that. And then when you feel that it's adjusted, come back with us. You may have to go out and come back in again to try to get it corrected.
Okay, Sandra. Yeah, see if you can go out, adjust your audio, and chime back in again, and we'll be glad to hear from you. Okay. I also see someone in our audience, Commodore McQuarrie. He was a member of the armed forces for many, many years. And we're so glad to have you as a veteran as part of, yes, as part of our audience today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
Well,
you.
we're
We're
not-
so happy that you're here as a guest, Commodore. We're going to do our women guests first because this is the Win-Win Women Television Network. But we're so happy that you served, number one, and we're also happy that you joined us.
Yes, thank you for being a part of our audience. Well, we have our co-hosts here today, and our co-hosts, we know that they are full of questions from our ladies who have served in the military, and we are the Win-Win Women Network. We want to hear from you. And we're going to start off with Brenda.
Yes, this question is to be addressed to all the veterans on the panel. And I just wanted to know what your inspiration was for serving. What was your inspiration for serving? Anyone can answer that.
Okay, I'll go ahead. My inspiration was I had attended college and I wasn't certain that I would graduate and get a job right away. I really didn't think that I would not graduate, but I didn't want to go back home to my parents. So the summer prior to my senior year, I expressed my concerns, and one of the gentlemen in my dad's golf playing buddies there suggested that I go talk to his Army recruiter. He was the master sergeant at the entrance station. And I was not really interested, but I made an appointment with the Air Force guy. He was rude, so I moved on, ruled out Marines, ruled out Navy, and talked to the Army recruiter. And they offered to pay off my student loans, and I'm in. So that worked out for me. That was my deal.
I just wanted to get away from home.
I'm sorry.
I just wanted to get away from home. And I didn't have the money to go into college.
No.
So once I saw a brochure, then I just signed up and went from there.
Interesting that you both, and you said you didn't want to go back home after being at college.
No.
And Pastor Ingram, you just wanted to get away from home.
Small town, pastor's daughter. I just wanted to get away.
That's very interesting. Was that something similar for you, Commodore?
Yes, it was for me, it was I wanted to do something different. I had just completed high school because I remember I was in high school and I wanted to get out of class early, and it was doing the ASVAB. I said, okay, well, I can get out of class early. I can skip school, finish the ASVAB, and go out. And so I remember taking it, and I just scored like the bare minimum to get in. And then right after I graduated, it was like, what I'm gonna do? And so the recruiter called me. I called him back. I said, hey, you still got my scores? He's like, yeah, come on in, we got you. And so I chose the Navy. It was kind of crazy how I chose the Navy. I was watching, it was one of Denzel's Washington movie. I think it was the Crimson Tide, and that movie came out. I was like, that'll be nice. And so when I joined, it was just like so much fun, and life was just great for doing. And for all our veterans, thank you all for your service.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Thank you as well.
Thank you for your service.
Great. Oh, Jan, you're here. Great. Would you like to go on with your question? Do you have any questions for our panelists? Jan?
Did you say Janice?
Yes, I did.
Jan, you're on mute.
There we go.
Hi, I'm sorry, I'm having some technical problems over here as well. as I was listening, and you said you had a family at the time. Is that why when you went into the service? Am I correct?
No, that was after I went in.
Yes. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
So,
after.
was your parents kind of encouraging to you? Was the rest of your family encouraging as well to support you in what you were doing?
I can't say that we're either encouraging or discouraging, because I was the type of kid that if I made up my mind to do something, that's what I was going to do, regardless of what anybody else said. You know, which of course gave me issues, but no, I went on back to school for my senior year, and I only had 2 weeks after graduation date to report. So there was no ifs, ands, or buts. Now, my older brother, he did not like that idea at all. But again, it mattered not. It was the decision I made, and I was happy with that decision.
Okay, so I'm sure that attitude helped you go very far. Did it help with that determination? Did that help you in the
I would
military?
say yes. I would say yes. There were probably times where I probably could have faced court-martial, but you know, hey, I just do what I do. And that was that.
Yeah. What about you, Ann? Did your family encourage or discourage you?
I thought I had answered that. No,
That
not
was
really.
Ann.
Yeah.
That was Ann that answered.
I'm sorry, Apostle?
My mother and father carried me downtown to the recruiting station.
Okay.
So they were, that is not that funny, but it was, I was ready to go, and I think they were ready for me to go. But I went straight in. I didn't know what to expect. So I went in and I failed the test. And
Oh,
I guess
wow.
my long face, the recruiter came outside and she said, "Do you really want to go in?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am. I need to get away." But she said, "I'll help you." So she gave me a brochure. I went home and I studied.
Mm-hmm.
And then I asked her, I said, "Well, don't y'all have a weight problem or something like that going on?" And she looked at me, she said, "Oh, well, you wouldn't have a problem." I said, "Let me crawl up on this scale. Let me show y'all something." So yeah, I went on a diet and studied that book and I
Oh,
left.
wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
Well,
they were
congratulations.
encouraging, and I'm glad that they were.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
What were some of the best moments for each of you that you experienced when you were in the service, and that moment that has brought joy, that did bring joy then and brings joy to your lives now?
I would say the different people that I met.
I would say as a drill sergeant to be able to take the crazies off the bus, and you got 8 weeks to make men out of them, and to see them walk across the stage, that's a good moment. Come talent show time, when it was Black History Month, be able to get on the piano in the front of however many battalion and sing gospel, that was a good moment.
Sandra, excuse me, I'm so sorry, Apostle. Sandra, will you please mute your mic? Thank you. Okay, I apologize. These technical issues are not something that we can have any control over, and it's just something that we have to get by. But our show is almost over, and we need to just kind of focus on making sure that we understand what these outstanding people, including Sandra, have given in terms of their service, and let them know how much we appreciate every hour, every day that you spent in the service. We do appreciate every effort that you put forth.
Thank you.
And I'm sure that there's something that you brought out of that has been joy then, and is going to be joy for you in your lives now. Commodore has not answered. Sandra is having a problem with technical difficulties. If you can hear me, Sandra, please put your response in the chat and we'll read it for you, because your audio is creating distraction with the other audience.
Okay.
So I think Ann answered that question. Apostle Ingram answered. Commodore, your opportunity to tell us what one or two things brought you joy while you were giving service, and what did you bring out of the service that you're carrying it through your life now?
Yes, thank you so much. One of the best thing that brought joy to me is when we did community relations in other countries that we visited. I remember it was one particular, we were in South America, in Colombia. We end up rehabbing a school and also rehabbing a women's center. And I remember at this one point, the boxes got mixed up. So the things for the school went to the women's center, and all the things for the women's center went to the school. And so we just gave the kids the Band-Aids out of the box, and they were so excited just to receive something from us. Just a packet of Band-Aids, and over at the women's center, they got all the toys and crayons and everything. And so, and one of the things that brings me joy, it's the camaraderie, like the brotherhood. I can see someone who I served with like 10, 15 years later, and it's just like when we meet up, it's like the conversation continues, and that's one thing I do love about it. And making fun of other services too, you know.
Well, we thank you all for the experiences that you have shared with us today. And very quickly, I'm going to ask each of you. First, I'm going to start with Ann. Ann, how best can we honor veterans, servicemen and women today?
I would say by respecting them. Many of them like to hear, thank you for your service, but some, it really doesn't matter. They know they're doing a duty, but they look at it as something they're given, not necessarily as a duty. For me, it was an honor to serve, and I have no regrets on that. But I think just recognizing them, that they are doing something for all of us.
Great. What about you, Sheila?
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. Thank you. Thank yous go a long way. Even if you don't know what you're saying thank you for, just say it, because it's a great sacrifice to be somewhere and can't be home for your beloved one's funeral.
Oh yeah.
Something to be, you have to change your tampon in the middle of the day with your male soldiers, and they still respect you in the morning. So just say thank you. My list can go on, 21 years of it. But if they could just say thank you and realize that there were great sacrifices made. Even now, sometimes when we sit and talk, when we talk soldiers among soldiers, we talk and we could join in and we can end one another's sentences, and then we laugh. And then there's other times that soldiers get together and we talk and we can end one another's sentences, but we don't, because of the hurts or the embarrassing moments or the times when there was nothing to eat, nothing to drink, didn't have our salt tablets.
Wow.
I'm referring to the Gulf,
Wow.
when it was 121 degrees in the day and then 35 degrees at night. You could see your breath.
Wow.
So if the people would just say thank you, because we sacrificed time and effort and years. No mail. When magazines came, they were 6 and 7 months outdated to know what's going on back home. So if the people would just learn to say thank you, that would compile all of the sacrifices that were made, that were told and untold.
Oh,
Wow,
that's great.
we really needed to hear that. We really,
Yes.
and I just wanted to say this. Sandra is chiming in the chat, and she said what brought her joy was the friendships that she made and the ability to keep her God in the forefront of everything. And she feels honored that she was able to serve as well. And she says, I now say thank you to those military men and women who are yet serving our country.
Yes.
Yes.
I thought this is we have such a vast panel here, and we just really want to know what's on your heart, but unfortunately we're running out of time. And I'm going to turn this over to Crystal. Crystal's going to really give us what we have upcoming. I want to remind you, veterans, please take advantage of all the freebies that are out there. Any offers that they want to give you to show their appreciation.
Yeah.
I also want to remind you, if you find yourself losing your joy, there's a special hotline just for you. Dial 988 and then press 1. 988 and then press 1. There's someone there at the end of that line to talk to you. All right, Crystal, what do we have coming up in the near future?
Blessings to everybody. Listen, first I want to say, I wish I'd have sat down and had a little bit longer of a talk with a veteran, okay? Because this is really something to appreciate. So God bless you. And I thank you for your service as well.
You're welcome. You can call me anytime.
Oh, you got it. So what we have coming up, everybody, listen. First, I want to invite everyone to join our Facebook page, The Joys of Living Great. Please join, become a part of that community, okay? If you missed this show, you can catch it there. Also, our YouTube channel, our YouTube page, The Joys of Living Great, please join and become a part of a community. This is an ongoing thing for us to actually discuss how we can live with joy. Okay, with whatever we do in whatever aspect of our lives, we can still maintain joy in this. And because this is the month of gratitude, I can say that I'm very grateful for your service. This is very eye-opening and interesting show today. Now, we also have a book available on the Win-Win Women Network, The Joys of Living Great 2. Please go to the store and shop. It's an ebook. $4.99, I do believe. So please download it. It will bless your life. All right. And then we also have an upcoming book in the works. We have some daily affirmations and things that we have looking to open up the new year with. And we also have December shows coming up that will focus on the joys of giving. Is that all right, Regina and Faye?
That's all right.
Did I do all right? Did I miss a thing? But listen, we really want to wrap our arms around everyone. Please come and join. This is a great move of God. This is a great movement, period. And we would love to invite people to come and join us and just see just how great it is to live with joy.
Amen.
Absolutely, absolutely. And once again, I'd like to thank our special guest. So sorry, Sandra we were not able to see her or actually hear her voice, but she's chiming in and she says, wow, I thank you all for everyone that has endured and served and made the sacrifice to service in the military and in the capacity that you would call. Thank you all for your service once again. And we want to thank you, Sandra. You stayed in as a career woman in the military. And I know both you and Sheila Ingram, you all had to supervise men. There were no gender discrepancies there. And we're so proud of what you've done. Thank you, Commodore, for joining us in our audience. You were able to just step right in where we weren't here from set couldn't hear from Sandra, but this is the Win-Win Women Network, and we try to highlight women and all of the things that are going on in our lives to spread joy to everyone, not just women, but to everyone. And we thank you once again for joining us, and we thank our leader, Faye, for all that she does for the Win-Women Women Network and just spreading her joy to us and allowing us to have this platform. Faye, closing words?
My only closing words are that from the very, very depths of the hearts of the Joys of Living great group, we want to thank you, each of our guests, and each service person who looks at our program, joins our program. We want you to know how much we appreciate the service that you've done. That
Thank
goes
you.
for the women and the men.
Yes.
For women, we know you had a little bit tougher time at times. So we certainly appreciate what you've done. Thank you so, so much, and join us again next Thursday.
All right.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.